Princess Beatrice has long been recognized for her distinctive fashion sense, often blending contemporary styles with vintage elegance. One notable example is a mermaid-style dress she wore to a pre-wedding event, which garnered significant attention. This gown, characterized by its form-fitting silhouette that flares out at the bottom, highlighted Beatrice's penchant for classic yet modern designs. In the lead-up to her wedding, Princess Beatrice attended several events, including parties hosted by Queen Elizabeth II. At one such event, she donned the aforementioned mermaid dress, which featured intricate beadwork and a flattering cut that emphasized her figure. The choice of this dress not only showcased her fashion-forward approach but also paid homage to traditional royal attire. The dress, with its delicate embellishments and elegant design, was reminiscent of the glamorous gowns worn by royals in the past. Beatrice's ability to merge historical fashion elements with contemporary trends has solidified her status as a style icon within the royal family. This particular mermaid dress, though not as widely publicized as her wedding gown, remains a testament to Princess Beatrice's unique fashion sensibilities and her respect for royal traditions. Bride says yes to a dress she hated, because it was the only one in the plus-size section, cried that night. In a moment meant to be filled with joy, a bride-to-be found herself grappling with disappointment when she had no choice but to settle for a wedding dress she didn't love. The bride, whose story has since gone viral, shared her emotional experience of shopping for her dream gown, only to realize that the options in the plus-size section were severely limited. The moment, which should have been a highlight of her wedding journey, turned into a reminder of the fashion industry's persistent challenges in catering to diverse body types. An excited start turned sour. The bride, who wished to remain anonymous, walked into a well-known bridal boutique with high hopes. Like many brides, she had envisioned trying on an array of stunning gowns and finding the one. However, her excitement quickly faded when she was directed to the plus-size section. Unlike the rest of the store, which was brimming with various styles and designs, this section had only a handful of options. I walked in with so much excitement, she shared. But when I saw the limited selection, I felt crushed. I couldn't believe that in this day and age, brides like me are still an afterthought. A dress she didn't want. Among the limited choices was a dress she immediately disliked. It wasn't what I wanted at all, she explained. The style didn't suit me, and it wasn't even close to what I had imagined wearing on my big day. With her wedding date approaching and no time to explore more options, she reluctantly said yes to the dress. I cried that night, she admitted. It felt like my joy and excitement were taken away from me. Instead of feeling beautiful and confident, I felt like I had to settle. A broader issue in bridal fashion. Her story is not an isolated incident. Many brides in the plus-size community have spoken out about the lack of inclusivity in the bridal fashion industry. While the average woman's clothing size in many countries is above a size 12, many bridal stores only carry sample sizes that cater to smaller frames. For plus-size brides, this often means fewer options, longer wait times, and additional alteration costs. I felt like I wasn't worthy of the same experience as other brides, the bride reflected. It's heartbreaking to feel excluded during such a special time in your life. Calls for change. The bride's story has sparked widespread discussions online, with many calling on the bridal fashion industry to do better. Social media users and advocates have emphasized the importance of body diversity and inclusivity in bridal collections. Every bride deserves to feel beautiful on her wedding day, one user commented. It's time for designers and boutiques to recognize that beauty comes in all sizes. Some bridal stores and designers are already making strides toward inclusivity. Brands like David's Bridal and others have introduced extended size ranges and inclusive marketing campaigns. However, stories like this highlight the work that still needs to be done. Turning pain into advocacy. While her initial experience was heartbreaking, the bride is using her story to advocate for change. She has started a social media campaign encouraging brides to share their experiences and call for more inclusivity in the bridal industry. I don't want any other bride to feel the way I did, she said. We all deserve to feel beautiful and celebrated, no matter our size. A hopeful outcome. Despite the challenges she faced, the bride is determined to focus on the joy of her upcoming wedding. With the help of a supportive community, she is customizing her gown to better suit her vision and has found strength in sharing her journey. I realize that my wedding is about love, not just a dress, she concluded. But I still hope for a future where every bride feels like the star of her own story. Princess Beatrice's long-forgotten pre-wedding mermaid dress to party with the Queen. The York Royals' striking fascinator worn to the royal wedding in 2011 dominated headlines. Princess Beatrice's marvelous millinery worn to the Prince and Princess of Wales's wedding on the 29th of April 2011 became one of the most talked about wedding guest outfits of all time. Dressed in a buttery beige Valentino coat adorned with intricate coiled collar detailing and a pretty bow belt, the princess's tailoring was unique and understated, until she added that Philip Tracy hat. Her blush pink fascinator, reminiscent of a rippling starched ribbon, made Princess Beatrice the subject of internet mockery at the time. Our thoughts. The world just wasn't ready for millinery that magnificent. Yet amid her so-called sartorial faux pas, the daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson had a spellbinding fashion moment the night before William and Kate's wedding that went under the radar, and we're here to revive it. Princess Beatrice's forgotten-about wedding gown. 24 hours before Prince William and his bride-to-be, Catherine Middleton, tied the knot in a fairy-tale wedding ceremony watched by 2 billion viewers worldwide, the late Queen Elizabeth II hosted their closest friends and family for a pre-wedding dinner at the Mandarin Oriental. The glittering affair was attended by the British royal family and royalty from around the world, and came with a dazzling dress code. Looking every inch a princess for the occasion, Beatrice, then 22, slipped into a blush pink mermaid-style dress. Boasting layers of ruched tulle embellished with glittering silver sequins, the royal's asymmetrical gown remains one of the most striking dresses she has ever worn. Princess Beatrice's auburn hair was styled in sleek, glossy curls, as she elevated her defined facial features with a silver smoky eye and blush pink lip gloss. Interestingly, the Prince and Princess of Wales weren't present at their own pre-wedding celebrations, instead choosing to spend the evening quietly as they geared up for the most important day of their lives. Almost 14 years on from the unforgettable day, few can forget the moment Kate stepped out of a 1978 Rolls-Royce Phantom V with her father, Michael Middleton, and unveiled her breathtaking Alexander McQueen wedding dress for the first time. Thought to have cost Carol and Michael Middleton £250,000, the bride's gown featured handmade lace created by the Royal School of Needlework and an ivory satin Victorian-inspired corset bodice which was narrowed at the waist and padded at the hips, according to the palace. It was finished with 58 organza-covered buttons and a skirt that echoes an opening flower.